Welcome to Astral Quantum, where the stars align to guide you on a peaceful journey of discovery. As you find your way here, allow yourself to pause and feel the weight of the world fade away. This is a space for you to breathe, to let go, and to embrace the peace that exists beyond the stars. Welcome not just to a channel, but to a sanctuary where the wonders of the universe unfold, inviting you to dream, reflect, and feel deeply loved. Tonight, we journey through the vastness of the cosmos, where time seems to stand still, and every spark of light tells a story of infinite possibility. Whether you're here to relax, to learn, or to explore the mysteries of space, know this: you're not alone. You are part of this grand cosmic dance, and together we will drift through the beauty of the universe. To fully realize the potential of renewable energy, we must also address energy access. Millions of people around the world still lack reliable access to electricity, particularly in developing countries. Investing in off-grid renewable energy solutions, such as solar-powered microgrids and wind-power generators, can provide affordable, clean energy to these communities. Ensuring that all people have access to clean and reliable energy is not only a matter of equity but also a matter of economic development and poverty alleviation. While the energy sector plays a central role in reducing emissions, sustainable agriculture is equally critical in building a sustainable future. Agriculture accounts for a large portion of global greenhouse gas emissions, particularly due to livestock farming, deforestation, and the use of synthetic fertilizers and pesticides. Transitioning to more sustainable farming practices is essential for reducing the environmental footprint of food production. One of the most promising solutions in sustainable agriculture is regenerative farming. Regenerative practices such as no-till farming, crop rotation, and agroforestry focus on restoring soil health, increasing biodiversity, and sequestering carbon in the soil. These methods help to regenerate degraded land, improve water retention, and reduce the need for chemical fertilizers and pesticides. Agroecology, which combines ecological principles with agricultural practices, is another approach that promotes sustainability by working with natural systems rather than exploiting them. At the same time, food systems must be reimagined to reduce food waste and promote sustainable diets. According to the Food and Agriculture Organization (FAO), approximately 1/3 of all food produced globally is wasted. This waste not only contributes to carbon emissions but also wastes the resources that went into producing that food, such as water, land, and labor. By adopting more sustainable consumption patterns, such as reducing food waste and shifting toward plant-based diets, we can reduce the environmental impact of the food system and ensure that the planet can support a growing population. In tandem with sustainable agriculture, biodiversity conservation is a cornerstone of planetary health. The Earth's ecosystems provide vital services such as air and water purification, soil fertility, climate regulation, and habitat for species. Yet, biodiversity loss has reached alarming levels, with species disappearing at an unprecedented rate. The loss of biodiversity not only threatens ecosystems but also undermines the very systems that sustain life on Earth, including agriculture, forestry, and fisheries. Efforts to protect and restore biodiversity are essential to the health of the planet. This includes protecting protected areas such as national parks, marine reserves, and wildlife sanctuaries, which provide safe habitats for endangered species and contribute to ecosystem stability. Additionally, habitat restoration projects, such as the reforestation of degraded lands and the rehabilitation of coral reefs, can help restore biodiversity and improve ecosystem services. Eco-friendly land use policies that protect forests, wetlands, and grasslands are essential in preserving biodiversity and mitigating climate change. The role of policy and governance in achieving sustainability is paramount. Governments must play an active role in setting the direction for the future through effective policies and regulations. This includes climate change legislation, environmental regulations, and financial incentives to support clean energy, sustainable agriculture, and conservation. However, policies alone will not be enough. Governments must work in partnership with businesses, civil society, and local communities to ensure that these policies are effectively implemented and that their impacts are felt on the ground. The concept of climate justice emphasizes that those who have contributed the least to climate change are often the most affected by its impacts. Therefore, it is essential to ensure that vulnerable populations, particularly in the global south, have the resources and support they need to adapt to climate change and transition to sustainable livelihoods. This includes providing financial support, technology transfer, and capacity building to ensure that developing countries can participate in the global effort to combat climate change. As we move toward a sustainable future, it is essential to consider the economic dimensions of sustainability. While green technologies and sustainable practices may initially require investment, they offer long-term economic benefits in terms of job creation, energy savings, and environmental restoration. The green economy represents an opportunity to create new industries, foster innovation, and generate sustainable economic growth. The rise of green jobs, such as those in renewable energy, sustainable agriculture, and environmental conservation, offers opportunities for economic development and a more equitable distribution of wealth. The future of Earth hinges on our collective ability to make decisions that prioritize sustainability, social equity, and economic resilience. While the challenges are immense, they are not insurmountable. Through collaboration, innovation, and global cooperation, we can build a future where both people and the planet thrive. By investing in clean energy, sustainable agriculture, biodiversity conservation, and green technologies, we can create a more sustainable world for future generations. As we look toward the future, it is essential to remember that sustainability is not just about protecting the environment, it's about ensuring that everyone everywhere has access to the resources, opportunities, and dignity they need to thrive. By embracing the principles of sustainability in every aspect of society, whether it's through individual choices, policy reforms, or global collaboration, we can build a future where the planet remains a vibrant, resilient, and thriving home for all species. The road ahead will require bold action, commitment, and collaboration across all sectors of society. The choices we make today will determine the future of the planet. It is up to each of us to take responsibility for our role in shaping the world we leave behind. The Earth has provided for us for millennia, and now it is time for us to ensure that it continues to provide for generations to come. As we approach the future, it is clear that our ability to address the many challenges facing the Earth depends on global cooperation, innovative solutions, and commitment to long-term sustainability. The road ahead will not be easy, but it is possible. The collective effort of individuals, businesses, governments, and global organizations will be required to create a world where environmental, social, and economic systems are in harmony. The global community must continue to collaborate on the most pressing issues of our time: climate change, resource depletion, and environmental degradation. International agreements like the Paris Agreement are vital in setting global goals for emissions reductions and climate action, but their success hinges on strong national commitments and local actions. Countries must take responsibility for their emissions and work together to meet these global climate goals. The largest contributors to greenhouse gas emissions must lead the way by implementing policies that prioritize clean energy, carbon reduction, and climate resilience. National governments have an important role in regulating industries, setting environmental standards, and creating economic incentives that promote sustainability. These measures will include the implementation of carbon taxes, green subsidies, and regulations on emissions. While governments take the lead in policy creation, local governments must also step in to ensure that sustainable practices are integrated into urban planning, transportation networks, and waste management systems. The growth of green cities, those that prioritize public transportation, green buildings, recycling programs, and eco-friendly infrastructure, will serve as models for sustainable urban living across the globe. Equally critical to addressing the planet's challenges is the role of the private sector. Businesses, particularly those in resource-intensive industries, must not only embrace green technologies but also rethink their entire approach to production. Corporate social responsibility, CSR, will become increasingly important as consumers demand transparency regarding a company's environmental footprint and social impact. Companies must shift toward sustainable supply chains, use renewable energy, and minimize waste through recycling and reusing materials. In doing so, businesses can play a crucial role in driving the transition to a green economy, supporting sustainability while also ensuring long-term profitability. As technological advancements continue to reshape industries, innovation will remain at the heart of the transition to sustainability. Breakthroughs in renewable energy technologies such as advanced solar cells, offshore wind farms, and geothermal energy are driving down costs and increasing efficiency, making clean energy more accessible to communities worldwide. The electric vehicle (EV) revolution is well underway, and as battery technology improves, EVs will become more affordable and accessible to consumers. In addition, smart grids and energy storage technologies will help ensure that renewable energy is distributed efficiently and can be stored for use when it is most needed. Beyond energy, digital technologies like artificial intelligence, AI, and blockchain hold enormous potential for helping us address environmental challenges. AI can optimize energy use, improve agricultural productivity, and enhance waste management systems. Blockchain technology can increase transparency in supply chains, enabling businesses and consumers to track the environmental impact of products and services. These technologies can provide real-time data that helps policymakers and organizations make informed decisions that benefit both the environment and society. However, as we embrace new technologies, we must be mindful of the ethical implications they may have. For instance, the rise of genetic engineering, biotechnology, and AI presents new challenges in terms of privacy, safety, and equity. As we develop innovative solutions, we must ensure that they are deployed responsibly, with careful consideration of their social, ethical, and environmental impacts. These technologies should not exacerbate existing inequalities or harm vulnerable communities. Instead, they should be leveraged to create positive social change and environmental benefits. As we look toward a sustainable future, we must also consider the role of education in shaping the next generation of leaders, innovators, and citizens. Environmental education is critical in fostering an understanding of the interconnectedness of all living systems and the importance of environmental stewardship. Whether through formal schooling, community outreach, or online platforms, it is essential that people of all ages learn about the challenges and opportunities associated with sustainability. Education empowers individuals to take action in their communities, make informed choices, and advocate for environmental justice and sustainability at the local, national, and global levels. An essential part of creating a sustainable future is the need for climate resilience. Communities, particularly those in vulnerable regions, are already experiencing the effects of climate change, including rising sea levels, more frequent extreme weather events, and disruptions to food and water systems. Developing resilient infrastructure, such as flood defenses, water conservation systems, and heat-resistant buildings, is essential to help communities cope with these changes. Similarly, efforts to protect natural resources, including forests, wetlands, and coral reefs, will help maintain ecosystem services and support the planet's ability to adapt to a changing climate. The concept of climate justice must also be central to the transition to a sustainable future. Climate justice recognizes that those who are least responsible for climate change, often the poorest communities, are disproportionately impacted by its effects. This includes access to clean water, food security, and climate-resilient infrastructure. The movement for climate justice calls for equitable solutions that provide resources and support to those most affected by climate change, empowering communities to adapt and thrive in the face of environmental challenges. The need for global cooperation and collective action is essential to ensuring a sustainable future for the planet. As climate change and environmental degradation are global problems, they require a global response. Nations must work together to create binding agreements that ensure accountability, share knowledge, and provide financial and technical assistance to countries that need help transitioning to sustainable practices. International cooperation must also address issues like biodiversity loss, plastic pollution, and ocean conservation, recognizing that these challenges are interconnected and require collaborative efforts to solve. While the challenges are significant, the opportunities for a sustainable future are vast. From the rise of clean technologies to the expansion of green jobs and sustainable industries, the path ahead is one of transformation. By embracing sustainability in all areas of society, whether through policy reform, innovative solutions, or individual action, we can ensure that Earth remains a vibrant, resilient, and thriving home for future generations. As we move forward, the choices we make will shape the future of Earth. It is essential that we act with urgency, compassion, and creativity to address the interconnected challenges of climate change, resource depletion, and biodiversity loss. Together, through collaboration, innovation, and global cooperation, we can create a world that is sustainable, equitable, and just, a world that future generations will inherit with pride. As we continue to envision a more sustainable future for Earth, it is essential to think not only about the environmental impact of our actions but also about how we interact with the natural world. The relationship between humanity and nature is one that has evolved over millennia, and the choices we make today will ultimately determine the future of both human societies and the planet. There is an urgent need for us to adopt more sustainable lifestyles and to reframe the way we view our responsibility as stewards of the Earth. One of the foundational pillars of sustainability is the concept of responsible consumption. The linear model of production and consumption, which encourages take, make, dispose, is outdated and unsustainable. As the world's population continues to grow, so does the demand for resources, which has led to an unsustainable strain on Earth's ecosystems. Circular economy principles, which focus on reducing waste, recycling, and reusing materials, are essential to slowing the depletion of natural resources. In a circular economy, products are designed for durability, repairability, and recyclability, ensuring that resources are kept in use for as long as possible. Eco-design is a critical component of the circular economy. By designing products with their end of life in mind, we can reduce waste and avoid using non-renewable resources. For example, modular design allows products to be easily repaired and upgraded, rather than discarded when they break or become outdated. The rise of eco-conscious consumerism has already led to a demand for products that are biodegradable, energy efficient, and ethically produced. This shift is gradually reshaping markets and encouraging businesses to invest in more sustainable production methods. Waste reduction is another crucial aspect of creating a more sustainable world. A staggering amount of waste is generated each year, much of which ends up in landfills or worse in oceans and other ecosystems. Plastic waste, in particular, is one of the most harmful pollutants, contributing to ocean contamination and harming marine life. Reducing plastic usage, improving waste management systems, and developing alternatives to plastic are essential steps in tackling this problem. Upcycling and composting are additional strategies that can help divert waste from landfills and turn it into valuable resources. In the face of these challenges, innovation continues to play a key role in shaping the future of sustainability. The rise of green technology is transforming industries and creating opportunities for environmentally friendly solutions. For instance, solar energy technology has seen significant improvements in efficiency and cost reduction, making it more accessible to people around the world. Energy storage solutions such as advanced batteries are becoming more affordable, enabling homes, businesses, and even entire communities to store excess energy generated by renewable sources. Sustainable agriculture remains another essential area of innovation. Agriculture is a major contributor to environmental degradation, but innovative practices are emerging that minimize the impact of food production. Vertical farming allows crops to be grown in stacked layers, using far less land and water than traditional farming methods. Hydroponics and aquaponics are alternative growing methods that do not require soil, enabling food to be produced more efficiently, particularly in urban areas. Moreover, precision agriculture, which uses technologies like drones, sensors, and data analytics, enables farmers to optimize the use of water, fertilizers, and pesticides, reducing waste and increasing efficiency. This approach improves crop yields while minimizing the environmental impact of farming. Additionally, regenerative agriculture, which focuses on improving soil health and biodiversity, offers a sustainable alternative to conventional farming methods. Practices like cover cropping, crop rotation, and no-till farming can restore degraded soil, increase carbon sequestration, and reduce the need for harmful chemicals. Biodiversity conservation must also remain at the forefront of global sustainability efforts. The loss of species and ecosystems poses a direct threat to the stability of the planet. Conservation initiatives, such as the establishment of protected areas and wildlife corridors, are essential in protecting species from extinction and preserving the habitats they depend on. Additionally, the restoration of degraded ecosystems, such as rainforests, wetlands, and coral reefs, can provide immense ecological benefits, from improving air and water quality to enhancing biodiversity and protecting against natural disasters. Marine conservation is particularly urgent, given the growing threats to ocean health, including overfishing, pollution, and climate change. Marine protected areas, MPAs, can help safeguard marine life, ensuring that fish populations are replenished and marine ecosystems are preserved. Reducing plastic pollution and improving waste management to prevent plastic from entering the oceans will also be critical in protecting marine biodiversity. Moreover, sustainable fisheries practices that prioritize ecosystem health over short-term profits can help ensure that oceans remain abundant for future generations. Green cities are central to the future of sustainability, as more than half of the world's population now lives in urban areas. As cities grow, they must be designed with sustainability in mind, prioritizing public transportation, green spaces, and energy-efficient buildings. Urbanization does not have to come at the cost of the environment. Sustainable urban planning incorporates features such as rainwater harvesting, energy-efficient infrastructure, and waste-to-energy systems to create cities that are not only more livable but also more resilient to the impacts of climate change. The development of smart cities, cities that use digital technologies to optimize resource use, holds great promise for the future. Sensors, data analytics, and Internet of Things (IoT) technologies can be used to monitor air and water quality, track energy consumption, and manage waste more efficiently. These innovations allow cities to be more responsive to the needs of their residents and more adaptive to the challenges posed by climate change and rapid urbanization. As we pursue sustainability, it is essential that we recognize the interconnectedness of environmental, social, and economic systems. The well-being of people is intrinsically linked to the health of the planet. Environmental degradation and social inequality often go hand in hand, and solutions to one problem must also address the other. For example, climate change disproportionately affects marginalized communities, those who have contributed the least to environmental damage yet are often the most vulnerable to its impacts. Ensuring that these communities have access to the resources, technologies, and support they need to adapt to climate change is a critical component of climate justice. In addition to climate justice, social equity must be at the heart of sustainability efforts. As we strive to create a more sustainable world, it is essential that economic growth is inclusive, providing opportunities for all individuals, regardless of their background or socioeconomic status. Ensuring that marginalized populations have access to education, healthcare, and economic opportunities will be key in building a world where everyone can thrive. The road ahead is challenging, but the solutions are within our reach. By embracing innovation, collaboration, and responsibility, we can create a world where sustainability is not just an ideal but a reality. Global cooperation, supported by local action and individual commitment, will be the key to unlocking the future of Earth. Together, we can protect the planet's ecosystems, ensure that future generations inherit a thriving world, and create a more equitable and prosperous future for all. As we continue to navigate the path toward a more sustainable and resilient world, it's essential to recognize that the future of Earth is ultimately intertwined with the future of human society. We cannot hope to build a sustainable world without addressing the fundamental needs of equity, justice, and collective well-being. The choices we make today regarding the environment, our economies, and our social structures will shape the world for future generations, and it is up to us to ensure that these choices are both responsible and inclusive. One of the key challenges of our time is environmental inequality, which has deep social and economic roots. Vulnerable communities, particularly in developing countries, have been disproportionately affected by the environmental crises of today, climate change, pollution, and resource depletion, despite contributing the least to these problems. As we strive for a more sustainable future, it is crucial that we adopt a framework of climate justice that ensures all populations, particularly marginalized and underrepresented groups, have access to the resources, technologies, and support they need to thrive in a changing world. Climate justice involves addressing the unequal burden that climate change places on different groups and ensuring that the most vulnerable are equipped to adapt and resist the impacts of environmental degradation. It also means providing equitable access to green technologies, clean energy, and climate-resilient infrastructure. These initiatives help ensure that everyone, regardless of their socioeconomic status or geographical location, can share in the benefits of a sustainable and prosperous future. Beyond climate justice, we must also focus on ensuring social equity in all sustainability efforts. Achieving sustainability isn't just about protecting the environment, it's about creating opportunities for all people to lead healthy, fulfilling lives. Whether it's ensuring access to clean water, affordable healthcare, safe housing, or education, addressing social inequality is as integral to sustainability as protecting the Earth's ecosystems. We must create societies that provide opportunities for people from all walks of life to thrive, in both developed and developing nations. The global transition to a green economy must be underpinned by economic inclusion. While the shift toward clean energy, sustainable agriculture, and resource efficiency will bring many benefits, we must ensure that the economic opportunities generated are accessible to everyone, especially those in vulnerable communities. This will require job training programs, entrepreneurial support, and financial resources to enable people from all backgrounds to participate in the green economy. Creating a just transition to sustainability means ensuring that green jobs are accessible to workers who are displaced by the decline of traditional, polluting industries, and it means investing in workforce development and skills training. Renewable energy and green technology provide the opportunity to create millions of green jobs across the globe. From the installation of solar panels and wind turbines to the development of electric vehicle infrastructure, the green economy is a source of significant employment opportunities. In the agricultural sector, sustainable farming practices such as regenerative agriculture, permaculture, and precision farming are transforming food production while reducing environmental harm. By investing in education and workforce development, governments and businesses can help prepare workers for these emerging industries, ensuring that the benefits of the green economy are distributed equitably. Access to technology is also a crucial factor in achieving global sustainability. The digital divide, the gap between those who have access to modern technologies and those who do not, remains a significant challenge, especially in low-income and developing countries. Bridging this divide is essential for empowering people to participate in the global transition to sustainability. Access to clean energy, information technology, and digital tools can help communities build resilience, improve productivity, and unlock opportunities for sustainable development. Internet access and digital literacy are becoming essential for engaging with the world's economy and addressing environmental challenges through technology. As we move toward a sustainable future, we must also recognize the importance of global governance. International agreements and frameworks are essential for ensuring that sustainability efforts are coordinated across countries. Agreements such as the Paris Agreement on climate change have set global targets for emissions reductions, but more needs to be done to ensure that these targets are met and that countries remain accountable for their commitments. International cooperation is necessary to tackle global issues like deforestation, plastic pollution, and biodiversity loss. By working together, nations can leverage their resources, technologies, and knowledge to create solutions that benefit the entire world. Local governance also plays a key role in driving sustainability. Cities and local communities are where many of the impacts of climate change are felt most acutely, and they are also where many of the solutions will be implemented. Local governments can promote sustainability by investing in clean energy infrastructure, green public spaces, energy-efficient buildings, and sustainable transportation systems. Moreover, community-led initiatives such as urban gardens, sustainable waste management programs, and local conservation efforts, can provide effective solutions for creating more sustainable communities. One of the most exciting opportunities for achieving sustainability lies in the potential of natural solutions. The Earth's ecosystems, forests, wetlands, grasslands, and oceans are essential to maintaining the planet's health. These ecosystems provide critical services such as carbon sequestration, water purification, pollination, and climate regulation. Protecting and restoring these ecosystems is a cost-effective way to address many environmental challenges. For example, reforestation and afforestation are vital for restoring biodiversity, improving air quality, and sequestering carbon dioxide, while also providing economic benefits such as timber, food, and fuel. Mangrove restoration offers a natural solution to protecting coastal communities from storm surges, while simultaneously providing vital habitat for marine life. Regenerative agriculture is another nature-based solution that focuses on restoring soil health, increasing biodiversity, and reducing carbon emissions. By using techniques such as no-till farming, cover crops, and crop rotation, regenerative agriculture can help improve soil fertility, reduce the need for synthetic fertilizers, and sequester carbon in the soil. These techniques not only improve the health of the land but also increase food security by making agricultural systems more resilient to climate change. As we embrace nature-based solutions, it is important to remember that sustainability must be woven into all aspects of society, from the local level to the global stage. Governments, businesses, and individuals all have a role to play in creating a sustainable world. It will take collaboration, innovation, and persistence to shift the current trajectory of environmental degradation and build a future that is just, sustainable, and thriving. As we conclude this journey through Earth's future, it is clear that the choices we make today will determine the fate of the planet. While the challenges are significant, the opportunities are vast. The future of Earth is not a matter of chance. It is a matter of choice. Together, through action, innovation, and collaboration, we can ensure that Earth remains a vibrant, resilient, and sustainable home for future generations. The time to act is now, and it is up to all of us to take responsibility for the world we leave behind. Through bold decisions, global cooperation, and shared commitment, we can create a world that is worthy of the generations to come. One that lives in harmony with the Earth and promotes the well-being of all living beings. As we continue to delve into the future of Earth, it's clear that sustainability must become the foundation of every decision we make. Whether it's through technological advancements, policy reforms, or individual choices, it's crucial that we act with purpose and urgency. The future of the planet depends on how we balance the needs of humanity with the health of the environment. One of the most powerful drivers of change is innovation. Whether it's renewable energy, green technology, or smart systems, technological advancements offer us the tools to build a sustainable future. However, innovation alone is not enough. Collaboration and cooperation will be essential to scaling these solutions. As we face increasingly complex challenges such as climate change, resource depletion, and environmental degradation, no one country, organization, or individual can solve these issues alone. Collective action will be key to addressing the crisis. In terms of energy, we are already seeing a shift toward renewable sources such as solar and wind. The development of smart grids and energy storage technologies will allow us to store excess energy generated by renewables and distribute it where and when it's needed most. In addition, electric vehicles, EVs, are expected to play a major role in reducing greenhouse gas emissions from the transportation sector. However, transitioning the entire global fleet of vehicles to EVs will require significant infrastructure investment, particularly in charging stations and battery technology. As technology continues to evolve, wireless charging, longer-lasting batteries, and faster charging technology will make EVs more accessible and practical for people across the globe. Beyond the energy sector, agriculture represents another significant opportunity for sustainability. Sustainable farming practices such as regenerative agriculture, which focuses on improving soil health, conserving water, and increasing biodiversity, can help reduce the environmental footprint of food production. Moreover, the rise of plant-based and lab-grown foods offers new ways to reduce the environmental impact of the food system. By shifting away from resource-intensive animal farming and adopting more sustainable dietary choices, we can significantly lower greenhouse gas emissions, reduce water usage, and minimize deforestation. Another area of focus is water conservation. As climate change disrupts global weather patterns, many regions are facing more frequent droughts, reduced freshwater availability, and rising sea levels that threaten coastal communities. By investing in water-efficient technologies, wastewater treatment systems, and desalination plants, we can ensure that clean water is available for everyone, even in the face of growing demand. Furthermore, reforestation efforts, such as the restoration of wetlands and forests, can help protect natural water systems, reduce flooding, and support biodiversity. One of the most crucial aspects of creating a sustainable future is ensuring social equity. Sustainability isn't just about the environment, it's about ensuring that everyone everywhere has access to economic opportunities, clean air, safe housing, education, and healthcare. While some communities are already benefiting from green technologies and sustainable infrastructure, many others are still struggling with poverty, inequality, and environmental injustice. We must prioritize the needs of marginalized communities, ensuring they have the tools and resources they need to thrive. This can be achieved through climate adaptation programs, financial support, and technology transfer to developing countries, ensuring that no one is left behind in the pursuit of a sustainable future. Green jobs will be a significant aspect of this transition. As renewable energy, sustainable agriculture, and green technologies continue to grow, so too will the demand for workers with the skills to support these industries. Governments, businesses, and educational institutions must work together to provide training and opportunities for workers, particularly those in traditional industries that are being displaced by the green transition. Providing job training programs and ensuring that green technologies are accessible to workers of all backgrounds will ensure a just transition to a sustainable economy. The future of Earth is also tied to the way we protect and restore ecosystems. Biodiversity is essential for the health of the planet, and preserving natural habitats is key to maintaining ecological balance. We must invest in protected areas such as national parks and marine reserves to safeguard species and ecosystems. Additionally, restoration efforts, such as reforestation, wetland restoration, and coral reef rehabilitation, are essential for rebuilding ecosystems that have been degraded by human activity. These efforts can improve soil quality, purify water, and support the resilience of natural systems in the face of climate change. Marine conservation is particularly important, as oceans provide vital resources, including food, water, and oxygen. Marine protected areas, MPAs, which are designated regions where human activity is limited to preserve marine life, are essential for safeguarding biodiversity in the oceans. Furthermore, addressing plastic pollution and reducing overfishing will be critical in preserving the health of marine ecosystems. As we continue to use our oceans as a resource, we must ensure that they are managed in a sustainable way that balances human needs with ecological health. A key challenge to achieving global sustainability is the financial barrier to implementing these solutions. While the benefits of a sustainable future are immense, the upfront costs of transitioning to clean energy, sustainable agriculture, and green technologies can be prohibitively high. To overcome this, we must prioritize green finance, which includes impact investments, green bonds, and sustainable supply chains. By channeling funds into sustainable development projects and ensuring that public funds are directed toward climate solutions, we can create a more financially viable path toward global sustainability. Innovative technologies such as artificial intelligence, AI, and blockchain can also support sustainability efforts. AI can be used to optimize energy use, improve supply chain efficiency, and monitor environmental conditions in real time. Blockchain can increase transparency and accountability in supply chains, ensuring that companies adhere to sustainability standards and provide consumers with the information they need to make responsible choices. These technologies can also facilitate the development of climate finance markets, allowing investors to support sustainable projects in emerging markets and vulnerable regions. Global governance plays a vital role in ensuring that sustainability efforts are aligned and coordinated across countries. The United Nations, UN, World Bank, and other international organizations are working to ensure that nations are on track to meet their sustainability goals. These organizations can provide technical assistance, financial support, and policy guidance to help countries implement sustainable solutions. International agreements such as the Paris Agreement, Convention on Biological Diversity (CBD), and Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs) set the global framework for sustainability, but it is essential that these frameworks are adhered to and that nations take collective action to meet their targets. As we look to the future, the need for innovation and collaboration remains paramount. We must continue to develop new technologies and approaches to environmental challenges, but we must also ensure that these innovations are scalable, accessible, and equitable. The goal should not be just to create solutions, but to create solutions that can benefit everyone, everywhere, especially those who are most vulnerable. The transformation toward a sustainable future will require commitment from all corners of society. Governments, businesses, and individuals must work together to create a world that is not only environmentally sustainable but also socially just and economically resilient. Through global cooperation, technological innovation, and local action, we can pave the way for a sustainable future. This collaborative effort is critical in ensuring that we can address the environmental challenges that are currently threatening the planet, while also providing for the needs of all people, now and in the future. One of the key drivers of this transformation is the ongoing shift towards renewable energy. As fossil fuels continue to harm the environment, renewable energy sources such as solar, wind, and geothermal are providing cleaner, more sustainable alternatives. Over the past few decades, these energy sources have become more accessible and affordable, with the cost of solar panels and wind turbines dropping significantly. The continued development of energy storage solutions such as batteries and grid systems will allow us to store excess energy for use during peak times, improving the overall efficiency of renewable energy systems. The energy transition is not only about shifting away from fossil fuels, it's about developing energy systems that are more resilient and efficient. The global energy grid must become more adaptable to changing energy demands and increasingly variable renewable energy sources. This will involve the integration of smart grids, which use data and digital technology to optimize energy distribution, ensuring that energy is delivered where it is needed most with minimal waste. Moreover, the electric vehicle (EV) revolution is accelerating. EVs have already shown significant promise in reducing emissions from transportation, which is one of the largest sources of greenhouse gases worldwide. As battery technology improves, EVs will become more affordable with longer ranges, faster charging times, and greater performance. The expansion of EV charging infrastructure is critical to supporting the adoption of electric vehicles, ensuring that both urban and rural communities have access to convenient and reliable charging stations. Governments, businesses, and individuals must all work together to accelerate the transition to cleaner transportation systems. Another pivotal aspect of building a sustainable future is the focus on sustainable agriculture. Industrial agriculture has contributed significantly to environmental damage, including soil degradation, deforestation, water pollution, and greenhouse gas emissions. Transitioning to more sustainable agricultural practices is critical for reducing these environmental impacts while also ensuring food security. Agroecology, regenerative agriculture, and precision farming are all approaches that prioritize the health of the land, the use of fewer chemicals, and the restoration of soil fertility. Agroecology combines ecological principles with farming practices, focusing on biodiversity, soil health, and resource conservation. By reducing tillage, using cover crops, and rotating crops, agroecological practices help restore soil health and reduce dependence on chemical fertilizers and pesticides. Similarly, regenerative agriculture goes beyond sustainable practices by focusing on improving the health of the soil, enhancing carbon sequestration, and rebuilding ecosystems. These methods promote resilience in the face of climate change by building more robust and adaptive farming systems. Precision farming is another technology-driven solution that enables farmers to optimize resource use, including water, fertilizers, and pesticides. Through the use of drones, sensors, and satellite technology, precision farming can increase yields while minimizing waste. This approach reduces the environmental impact of farming, conserves natural resources, and boosts food production to meet the needs of a growing global population. In addition to sustainable farming, food waste reduction is a critical component of ensuring a sustainable food system. Nearly 1/3 of all food produced globally is wasted, representing a significant loss of resources, including land, water, and energy. By improving supply chains, reducing food waste at the consumer level, and redistributing surplus food, we can minimize the environmental impact of food production. Food recovery programs and donation networks can help redistribute food to those in need, reducing both waste and food insecurity. A shift towards more sustainable diets, particularly a reduction in meat consumption, is another necessary step in creating a sustainable food system. Animal agriculture, particularly beef production, is a major contributor to greenhouse gas emissions, deforestation, and water consumption. By embracing more plant-based diets and reducing meat consumption, individuals can help reduce their environmental footprint. Additionally, alternative proteins such as lab-grown meat and plant-based meat substitutes offer more sustainable options that can meet growing protein demands without the environmental costs associated with livestock farming. Biodiversity conservation will be essential to the future of Earth. Ecosystems such as forests, wetlands, grasslands, and oceans provide vital services, such as regulating climate, purifying air and water, supporting food production, and storing carbon. However, these ecosystems are under threat from human activities such as deforestation, overfishing, and land conversion. It is crucial to protect and restore biodiversity to ensure that these ecosystems continue to function effectively and support life on Earth. Protected areas, including national parks and marine reserves, are essential tools in the preservation of biodiversity. These areas provide refuge for endangered species and help maintain ecological balance. Moreover, reforestation and afforestation efforts can restore degraded habitats and enhance carbon sequestration, which helps mitigate climate change. Ecosystem restoration projects, such as wetland restoration and coral reef rehabilitation, can also play a significant role in preserving biodiversity and improving ecosystem services. Marine conservation is particularly urgent, as the oceans provide essential resources for millions of people and support a diverse range of species. Marine protected areas, MPAs, are essential in safeguarding marine biodiversity, including fish populations, coral reefs, and other coastal ecosystems. Sustainable fisheries management, which prioritizes the health of marine ecosystems over short-term profit, is critical for ensuring the long-term viability of marine life. Furthermore, addressing plastic pollution and reducing overfishing will be necessary for the preservation of ocean ecosystems. The role of education in driving global sustainability cannot be overstated. Environmental education helps individuals understand the importance of sustainability, the challenges we face, and the steps they can take to reduce their environmental footprint. By teaching people of all ages about climate change, biodiversity, and resource conservation, we can empower future generations to make informed decisions and take meaningful action. Public awareness campaigns and community engagement efforts will be key in spreading the message of sustainability and ensuring that people understand the urgency of the global environmental crisis. In the coming decades, the future of Earth will depend on the actions we take today. The journey toward a sustainable future will require bold decisions, innovative solutions, and a collective commitment to preserving the planet for future generations. Global cooperation, technological innovation, and local action will all be critical in ensuring that Earth remains a thriving, resilient home for all species. The choices we make today will shape the future of the planet, and it is up to each of us to ensure that the world we leave behind is one that is sustainable, equitable, and just. As we move forward, one of the most profound realizations is that the future of Earth will be determined by the choices we make today. While the challenges are daunting, the possibilities are vast. The transition to a more sustainable world requires all sectors of society to come together and act with urgency, creativity, and commitment. From the global level to the individual, everyone has a role to play in shaping the future of the planet. Global collaboration is essential for addressing the interconnected issues of climate change, resource depletion, and biodiversity loss. Countries must come together to meet their climate goals and ensure that sustainable development is a shared priority. While international agreements, like the Paris Agreement, have laid the groundwork for collective climate action, stronger commitments and more ambitious targets will be necessary to tackle the scale of the crisis. Nations must prioritize climate action, implementing green policies, renewable energy initiatives, and climate adaptation strategies to ensure resilience in the face of global warming. Furthermore, financial mechanisms will play a critical role in supporting sustainable development across the world. Wealthy nations must provide financial support to developing countries to help them adapt to climate change, transition to renewable energy, and reduce their environmental impact. The concept of climate finance will be crucial in ensuring that less developed nations have the resources to implement sustainability programs and green technologies. This financial support must also include investments in climate resilience, particularly in vulnerable communities, which are often the first to feel the effects of environmental crises. Technology will continue to be a cornerstone of the transition to a sustainable future. Innovations in renewable energy, clean technology, energy storage, and sustainable agriculture are already changing the landscape of industries across the globe. As solar energy, wind power, and electric vehicles become more efficient and affordable, the world will continue to shift away from polluting fossil fuels and toward green technologies. Governments must incentivize these technologies through subsidies, tax breaks, and support for research and development, ensuring that the transition to sustainability is not only feasible but also economically viable. Energy efficiency remains one of the most important tools we have in reducing our carbon footprint. From green building technologies to energy-efficient appliances, improving the efficiency of energy use is critical to reducing waste and lowering emissions. Smart homes, which use IoT technology to optimize energy consumption, and smart cities, which use digital solutions to improve urban infrastructure, offer promising solutions to reduce energy demand and enhance resource management. Building codes and construction standards must also prioritize energy-efficient designs and green building certifications to ensure that new developments contribute to a sustainable future. Sustainable agriculture is another vital component of this transition. As the global population continues to grow, feeding the world while minimizing environmental harm will require significant innovation in food production. The practices of industrial agriculture, which rely heavily on chemical fertilizers, pesticides, and monocultures, are unsustainable and contribute significantly to environmental degradation. Agroecology, regenerative farming, and precision agriculture offer sustainable alternatives that prioritize soil health, biodiversity, and carbon sequestration. These methods reduce the need for synthetic inputs, conserve water, and help restore ecosystems, ensuring that agriculture can continue to meet global food demands while protecting the planet. At the same time, reducing food waste is a crucial part of building a sustainable food system. Approximately 1/3 of all food produced globally is wasted, contributing to greenhouse gas emissions, resource depletion, and food insecurity. Efforts to reduce food waste at every level, from the farm to the consumer, can help ensure that resources are used more efficiently and that more people have access to nutritious food. Food recovery programs and waste reduction initiatives are essential in tackling this problem, and sustainable food production methods will help reduce the environmental impact of food systems worldwide. Biodiversity conservation is another urgent priority. The ongoing loss of species and ecosystems is a direct threat to planetary health, and it is imperative that we take action to protect and restore the Earth's ecosystems. The Protected Area Network, which includes national parks, marine protected areas, and wildlife reserves, plays a key role in preserving biodiversity. At the same time, ecosystem restoration projects such as wetland restoration, forest rehabilitation, and coral reef restoration are essential for rebuilding ecosystems that have been degraded by human activity. Habitat preservation and biodiversity protection efforts must be prioritized in order to maintain the delicate balance of nature and ensure the survival of species for generations to come. The oceans in particular require focused attention. Marine conservation is critical to the well-being of both marine life and human populations, as oceans provide food, oxygen, and climate regulation. Overfishing, plastic pollution, and climate change are major threats to marine ecosystems. Marine protected areas can help safeguard fish populations, coral reefs, and other critical habitats. Moreover, addressing plastic pollution and promoting sustainable fisheries will be essential for maintaining the health of the oceans. Marine restoration efforts, such as coral reef regeneration and the restoration of mangroves and seagrasses, can help restore these vital ecosystems and support marine biodiversity. In addition to technological innovations and policy reforms, the role of education in driving sustainability cannot be overstated. As the world faces the challenges of climate change and environmental degradation, educating future generations about the importance of sustainability and environmental stewardship is crucial. From primary school curriculums to university research and public awareness campaigns, environmental education provides individuals with the knowledge and tools to make sustainable decisions in their daily lives. Encouraging environmentally responsible behaviors and promoting a deeper understanding of the interconnectedness of all life on Earth is essential for building a sustainable world. Public engagement is equally important in this transition. Grassroots movements, community-based initiatives, and individual actions can all make a significant impact in promoting sustainability. Whether it's through recycling programs, local conservation efforts, or sustainable lifestyle choices, individuals and communities can contribute to a more sustainable future. Social media and digital platforms also offer powerful tools for raising awareness, spreading knowledge, and mobilizing people to take action. The more people understand the environmental challenges we face and the solutions available to address them, the more likely they are to embrace sustainable practices in their own lives. The shift toward a sustainable future requires that we integrate sustainability into every aspect of society. Businesses, governments, individuals, and institutions all have a role to play. Climate change, resource depletion, and biodiversity loss are complex, interconnected issues that require comprehensive solutions. Through global cooperation, technological innovation, policy action, and individual responsibility, we can create a world that is not only environmentally sustainable but also socially just and economically viable. The journey ahead may seem daunting, but with collective will, innovation, and determination, we have the power to create a thriving, sustainable planet. The future of Earth is in our hands, and by taking bold, responsible actions today, we can ensure that future generations will inherit a world that is just, resilient, and full of promise. The time to act is now, and the world's future depends on our ability to act decisively, thoughtfully, and sustainably. As we move forward, we must recognize that the task of creating a sustainable future is both urgent and achievable. The combined efforts of governments, businesses, and individuals will be necessary to address the ongoing challenges of climate change, environmental degradation, and social inequality. By integrating sustainability into every facet of our lives, we can forge a path toward a world that is resilient, equitable, and environmentally responsible. To achieve this, we must first focus on transforming the way we produce and consume. Our current models of growth and consumption have led to overexploitation of the Earth's natural resources, and this must change. A shift toward a circular economy, where waste is minimized, products are reused, and materials are recycled, is key to creating a sustainable system. By designing products with end-of-life management in mind, we can ensure that materials are used efficiently and kept in circulation rather than being discarded. This approach not only reduces waste but also reduces the need for raw materials, thereby preserving natural resources. The fashion industry, for example, is one of the largest contributors to pollution and waste globally. Fast fashion, which encourages consumers to purchase cheap, disposable clothing, is responsible for enormous amounts of waste and environmental harm. However, the rise of sustainable fashion is an example of how industries can begin to rethink their business models. By using recycled materials, natural fibers, and ethical labor practices, fashion brands can reduce their environmental impact and help create a more sustainable industry. Similarly, the food industry is adopting zero-waste practices and working to reduce food loss at every stage of the supply chain, from production to consumption. One of the most important steps we can take to ensure a sustainable future is to embrace renewable energy as the primary source of power worldwide. The transition from fossil fuels to clean energy is critical in mitigating climate change. Solar power, wind energy, geothermal energy, and hydropower are already proven technologies that can provide clean and abundant energy without the harmful emissions associated with burning coal, oil, or gas. As energy storage technologies improve and the cost of renewable energy continues to decline, renewable sources of power will become even more accessible to people around the world. This transition will not only help reduce greenhouse gas emissions but also reduce our reliance on finite resources, creating a more secure energy future. As we reach the end of this journey through the cosmos, I hope you found a sense of peace in the vastness of the universe and a deeper connection to the infinite wonders that surround us. Let the beauty of the stars remind you that there is so much more to explore, both out there in space and within yourself. Before we part ways, if you've enjoyed this peaceful escape, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your support means the world to me, and it helps us reach more kindred spirits on this cosmic journey. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a moment of the universe's wonders. Thank you for being a part of Astral Quantum, where every star tells a story. Sleep well, my friends, and may your dreams be as vast as the universe. Good night, and until we meet again in the stars, sweet dreams and infinite peace.